Alright, so welcome back. Hoping you guys are having a fabulous day here today. We got some stuff to talk about. So, I was going and basically surfing the web here, checking out some stuff here regarding Nikke, and I actually came across some of the IPO stuff, which is basically Nikke is seeking investment. We talked about that. Shift of themselves, again, with the success of Nikke and the further success of that of Stellar Blade, they decided obviously to seek investment, and they filed for an IPO and everything. And I wanted to show this to you because they made a response here where they were forced to basically involve and talk about the risks associated to investing with ShiftUp, and this is actually something really intriguing and something cool to look at. So today, let's hop into it. If you're new to the channel, like and subscribe, helps out a ton. Let's hop over there and let's break it down. There's a bunch of articles I'm going to jump through, 2 KR, 1 global. So let's hop over there. So first thing, a more easier way to understand it without any translations and such, ShiftUp postpones the IPO, again the investment thing, with its over-dependence on Nikke raising concerns about its sustainability. A little too long to read. This entire article just goes in about, again, like investors saying like, okay, is Nikke the only thing you got? And technically speaking, what they're trying to say is, where does Nikke, or where does ShiftUp's most revenue come from? That's Nikke. Whatever it is, they did do Stellar Blade, all that happened. I think they sold about 1 million copies altogether, but they want to know sustainable revenue. Something that will keep coming in. Whatever Stellar Blade is, it's going to have revenue, it's going to do that. But again, their entire purpose in this article is they say, guess what? You sold those first copies, now what? Where do we get the money for the company after this? Is it only Nikke? Is that the only, thing you got there? You recently shut down another game, which is Destiny Child. What happened there? If you shut this down, what happens to us? Correct? That's like the entire point of this article. So here we go. ShiftUp, known for Stellar Blade and Goddess of Victory, Nikke, still plans to list its shares on the Korean stock exchange. However, the company recently faced some challenges from local financial authorities. They say this again. What happened? Earlier this week, several South Korean outlets reported the news, saying that ShiftUp recently filed a corrected version to its securities, or of its securities, report regarding its upcoming public offering. The company decided to postpone demand forecasting for institutional investors from June 3rd to the 27th, while the IPO subscription was moved to early July. This comes shortly after the FSS, the Financial Supervisory Service, requested a correction and subsequent adjustment to the listing schedule. According to Newsprime, ShiftUp's initial report didn't meet the screening standards of financial authorities. Despite the regulators' regulators did too much TOG. ShiftUp said it made changes voluntarily. The company added that it wanted to provide investors with clearer information and additional time to make decisions in preparation for the IPO. Speaking of the upcoming public offering, the expected share price ranges from, again, 47 I think won, right, to 60k won, again 34 to 43 per share. Following the IPO, ShiftUp could reach a valuation of about 2.53 billion. What concerns do regulators have about ShiftUp? The FSS can't do that. It's worried about the long-term sustainability of ShiftUp's business. Its success currently hinges on the future of a single game, which some experts consider a huge risk factor. Again, whatever Stellar Blade is, they're trying to say in this article, you look at it, you buy Stellar Blade, then what? How are you keeping the money going consistently and constantly? The only game you have doing that is Nikke, a live service game, which again, every single update releases a new character, which is a new thing to invest money into. That's what they're trying to get at. In 2023, ShiftUp's annual revenue grew 154% year over year to, again, 125 million. However, royalty sales from, again, Goddess of Victory and Nikke accounted for 97 or 98 almost % of the total, and such overdependence on one title could be a worrying sign. The authorities also recalled that, again, ShiftUp ceased further development and maintenance of its mobile game, basically Destiny Child, correct? Which we also covered. We talked about that, how that game did end up shutting down, which was also a scare a lot of players had, like, hey, the game wasn't doing too bad. It was a good game to like keep up. It was like your sort of passion project. Why shut it down in such a terrible way? And you could have kept it going and such, but again, they did kick it. They did basically can the entire thing. But yeah, with that also now worrying investors, like, hey, well, why, right? If this happens to Nikke, where's our foundation? If you don't create another game, that's again a money printer like Nikke. What do we do? So again, they continue to say this. According to AppMagic, it did again 160 million in its lifetime revenue, but the studio explained that the number of users and sales decreased as the games gradually reached the end of its life cycle. ShiftUp doesn't rule out the possibility of closing Nikke if it sees a sharp decline in the number of players over time. What the fudge? ShiftUp doesn't rule out the possibility of closing Nikke if it sees a sharp decline in players over time. Another point of concern is that the company relies on contracts with third-party publishers. Stellablade is distributed by Sony, while Gods of Victory is operated by Tencent subsidiary Level Infinite. Again, they followed it forward in March, and again, just similar to the PUBG maker, worrying that it might hit a one-hit wonder thing. So yeah, that's the article. This line, dude, holy hell, Shifter doesn't rule it out. I mean, we all know they don't rule it out, right? They clearly, again, can Destiny Child. Yeah, sure, it wasn't, again, a huge game, but still had its cult following, still had people after it. And yeah, again, it did get a little of a revive, whatever you might say. People found out about that game through Nikke, so they played it. So whatever it was, they did can it. So I don't think we're really shocked about that one. You know, if it lowers, they got to say, hey, got to shut doors on that one. But yeah, Shift Up postpones IPO schedule, risk of, again, dependence on one game being a high instability. And again, this says something similar. I read through this article first. I never even read that line. So that shocked me reading that part of it. But they did say something similar over here, but not exactly. I don't know if they're going for more extremes. They say this. In fact, Shift Up cited the example of Destiny Child in its correction report and said, there is a possibility that the game we are currently servicing may also end in service, there you go, due to the rapid departure of users and development/service personnel. In addition, even in a situation where only a small number of users exist due to a decrease in the number of game users, if the existing game service is terminated, our reputation and brand value may decline due to user complaints, etc., which will have a negative impact on our business environment, he added. You can go crazy. So, again, take that how you will. You know, whatever I will say is this: they did can Destiny Child. There was a low, again, demand for it. Whatever Nikke is, I'm definitely gonna stand on the fact that it should average about, even on a bad month, 5 to 10 million, right? Again, we've seen our lowest month ever. I don't think we've kicked into you know, not like, you know, double millions, right? Like 10 million, 11 million. I don't think we've dipped below that, but you can see, again, the game is not what it was, right? It definitely has seen a lot of decline. Again, reasons I won't get into. I already talked about these reasons, right? Again, whatever Nikke is, they've given up on the aspect of giving whales some sort of thing to do at the end of the game, which is why whales are just considering, hey, why put the money in? You know what I mean? It's like, why triple dupe my crown? I'll just obtain crown. A lot of players are stopping that entire thing. Unless they like the MLB screen, they just give up, right? So again, there is that reason. And then again, another article kind of confirming it. No problem. Confidence in shifting up, overcoming risks ahead. Again, another article talking about the risks and everything associated for them getting investment. Because again, they only have one thing. They only have one big money maker, and that is simply just, again, Nikke, right? Whatever Stellablade was, it did good. It did really good. I think it sold 1 million copies, which for them was, again, a box office success. It was huge, correct? And they're, like, investors are looking like, hey, what else, correct? You gotta keep the game, you gotta keep the company running, gotta keep the money coming in here. We gotta see some cash flow. Where's that cash coming in? Is it coming in from a new game? Is it coming in from what? We don't know, right? We need that because, again, if it's just Stellablade, there's a limit to how much Stellablade will keep going. There's no such thing as a long-term thing, right? As, again, 1 million's reached. Is it gonna hit 2 million? It will take a very long time to do that. That's how it's gonna work, right? Again, with Nikke, it's the money printer. That's what it is right now. Destiny Child, your last money printer, you can that one. How can we not trust that you're gonna can this one too? So it's, again, that entire point here. But let me know what you think. Quick little video here. Just want to show this to you. Again, it is intriguing to me. I found it really cool to go through and read this stuff here. But again, that's kind of how it works with everything. I've seen other, I think, companies also seek investment, but the other companies didn't shut down other games. So yeah, I've never really seen this thing where they have to make the risk abundant and say, yeah, well, this happened, but, right? Again, whatever it is, Nikke is not going anywhere anytime soon. Definitely got another 5 years on it. In my opinion, more, if they could keep it up. Again, there is a new game coming out. Remember that, 2027 from Shift Up. Don't know what that is. Don't know how that's going to operate, but 2027 is a new game. So they literally only have to milk Nikke for 3 more years, and then they can shelf it just like they shelved, again, Destiny Child. That's not being, you know, I'm not trying to be like serious here, but it's, again, it just, that could happen. I'm speaking in a negative perspective, right? That could happen. Doesn't have to. Just saying, calm down, all right? All right, take care, have fun. Yeah, let me know what you think here. Just curious.